Welcome to another video on Silicon Labs Simplicity Studio 6. I'm Martin Looker. In the previous video, we covered working with projects, showing how to find, create and manage them. In this video, we'll be taking the Bluetooth Health Thermometer example project that we created in that video into the Visual Studio Code IDE, and we'll look at how to compile, flash and debug the project. You can find the steps followed to reach the starting point of this video in the earlier installation guide and working with projects videos, which are linked in the video description, along with links to further resources to help you get up and running with Simplicity Studio 6. As a reminder, I'm using the EFR 32XG24 dev kit, which really helps with prototyping due to the wide range of sensors fitted to the board. And the Bluetooth thermometer project I'll be using makes use of the onboard temperature sensor. So let's return to Simplicity Studio and get going. I'm currently on the home page of Simplicity Studio, where I can see the two projects I created previously in the Recent Projects panel. To access all my projects, I can go to the Projects page and see the same two projects. The first of these projects is the bootloader project, which is required to run the main Bluetooth thermometer project. There are a couple of ways to open a project in Visual Studio Code. The first is to double-click the projects folder in the projects list, or open the .slcp file under the project, and then I can click the Open in VS Code button. Alternatively, I can use the context menu in the Projects panel. In VS Code, most of your interactions will be from the Silicon Labs panel, and it may take a few moments to fully load. At the top, you'll see it actually loads the whole workspace, including all the projects you've created there. Here, we can see both the thermometer and bootloader projects that I created in the previous video. The Devices area shows connected devices, where you can see board numbers and the parts mounted on them. You can also access terminals from here. The Tools area provides access to tools you may want to use to help you during development and testing. Down in the Learn and Support section, you can access the user guide for the Simplicity Studio extension and various resources should you need help. If you unfold a project, you can access the folders and files that form the project. You can open the files in the editor and get to work on your code. When we looked at creating projects in the previous video, I talked about the project options to link to all files in the SDK, link to SDK files but copy project files, and finally copying all files. Files that you copied could be safely edited, as they exist independently in the project folder. If you want to be sure, you can check the file location by hovering over the file name. If it is in the Workspace and Project folder, changes will only affect the project you are working on. For files that were linked into the project from the SDK installation, you need to be more cautious about changing. Changing a linked application file will change it for any new versions of the project you create in the future and any existing projects that also link the file. Changing SDK files, such as Bluetooth source files, will affect both existing and future projects that have linked in the same file. So you do need to have a good reason to change linked files. And if you feel the need, consider changing the setup to bring such files into your project folder by updating the settings back in Simplicity Studio. If you've chosen the default option to copy project files but link to SDK files, as I've done for these two projects, determining which is which can be obvious from the folders in your project. As an example, all files in the Simplicity SDK folder will be linked. Again, if you are not sure, hover over a file name and check whether it is in your project folder. In this case, changing it only affects your project. If it is elsewhere, changing it may affect other existing or future projects. When you are ready to compile your project, First check that VS Code is connected to Simplicity Studio by ensuring that the circle here is white and the tooltip indicates there is a connection. If the circle is red or you are not connected, you should check the settings for the extension. And we show you how in the Simplicity Studio 6 installation guide video. Also, you can refer to the extension user guide for further help. When you are ready to compile, you can click the small hammer icon next to the project name here. Alternatively, right-clicking on the project will open a context menu. You can then build from here and also clean your project if required. Once compiled, clicking the small flash icon or selecting Flash from the context menu will flash the binary into a connected board. Compilation will create a few different binary formats, and you'll be prompted to select which one to flash. Selecting the .s37 file is usually the best choice, as that format includes address information. Especially important when multiple binaries will need to be programmed, like an application plus a bootloader binary. You'll find advice on binary files in the example project documentation, as we saw in the previous Working with Projects video. Speaking of the bootloader, I also need to compile and flash it into my board to ensure the thermometer application binary is started correctly. With both the bootloader and Bluetooth thermometer application binaries flashed, let's see it in action. I'm going to open the terminal on the left so I can observe debug messages and reset my board to make sure I can see them from the beginning of the application. To interact with the application, I'm running the Simplicity Connect mobile app. This is a useful tool for exploring the services and characteristics in a connected Bluetooth device. But in the Demos tab, it has a specific page for interacting with this Bluetooth thermometer application. Here, we can see the temperature measured by the device. And if I start to raise the temperature of the device, we can see the temperature updating in the application. Once the heat is removed, we can also see it decreasing once again. In addition to writing debug messages to the terminal, we can also debug from within VS Code by clicking the Debug button next to the project or from the context menu. You'll be presented with a couple of options. Run directly, which is the default, does not perform a full hardware reset. Instead, it initializes the stack pointer and program counter from the application's vector table. This option is recommended when running an application alongside a bootloader. Device Reset performs a full hardware reset before running to ensure execution begins from the primary reset vector. This is more appropriate for standalone applications or where a clean hardware state is required. As I have a bootloader, I'm going to choose the Run Directly option, and this will be retained for future uses. Before I continue debugging, I'm going to return to the Simplicity tab. If you right-click the project, you can select Open Configurators too, and then go to the Debug Configurator entry. Here, you can alter the way the debug session is started, should you want to. Or, if you want to clear all settings, delete the launch.json file in the .vs Code folder of the project. Let's return to the debugger, which has stopped at the entry point to the application. We can use the icons at the top to step through the application, stepping over function calls and into them. Breakpoints can be set and cleared to the left of the code, and we can run until we hit them. Let's add one where the boot event is raised by the Bluetooth stack and allow the application to run. We can view the local variables and variables in other accessible scopes over on the left-hand side. We can also see the call stack down here. You can also add variables to the watch list, either from the full variables list or the context menu in the code. Be aware that stepping through code in the debugger will slow your application. and you may find wireless applications disconnecting as a result, when the stack processing is also halted. Nevertheless, the debugger is still useful for stepping through complex code, and you can combine it with the use of debug messages to the terminal to track what a connected application is doing. Once your debug session is over, you can use the stop button to end the session. We've covered the basics of working with Simplicity Studio projects in the Visual Studio Code IDE. If you need further information, check out the documentation for the extension. You'll find a link to it in the video description, along with links to other relevant resources. In the next video, we'll return to Simplicity Studio and take a look at using the Bluetooth GATT editor. This is where the profiles, services, and characteristics that form a Bluetooth application can be edited. When returning to Visual Studio Code, those edits can be compiled to update the application. Subscribe to the Silicon Labs YouTube channel to be notified when it's released. And thanks for watching.